Grumpy Folktales. Africa Presents. Title: He was murdered on our wedding night. I'm the prime suspect. Opening scene: nighttime. A flickering fire in a quiet village. Camera pans to a female narrator seated on a stool, draped in native attire, her voice calm but haunting. Narrator: soft but chilling voice. Gather around, my children. Tonight, I will tell you a tale not carved from ancient stone, but one born from love and drenched in blood. Cut to a modern wedding scene, bride and groom smiling. Then flash to a hotel room, lifeless body, police tape, crying bride. Narrator: conned. She wore white, he wore pride. But before sunrise, he was dead, and she was accused. Cut to police interrogations, a mother screaming, red stilettos on tiled floor. Narrator: was it jealousy? Was it revenge? Or was it a curse passed down through generations? Scene slows down, candle flickers, bride walks through rain alone, villagers whisper. Narrator: final line. Grumpy Folktales Africa presents He was murdered on our wedding night. I'm the prime suspect. Sit tight. The truth is buried deep. It was the happiest day of my life. My name is Amaka, and after 3 years of dating, I finally married Emeka, the love of my life. The ceremony was lavish white roses, lace gowns, and Yoruba drummers blending with Igbo chants. 2 cultures, 1 love. Friends and family danced until sundown, and my cheeks hurt from smiling. We checked into a luxury suite in a high-end Lagos hotel for our wedding night. Emeka kissed me softly, whispering how lucky he was. That was the last moment of peace I knew. By dawn, I woke up beside his lifeless body. Blood pooled beneath him, a kitchen knife buried deep in his chest. I screamed until my voice cracked. The door had been locked from the inside. No forced entry. The police arrived. I was in shock, still in my wedding dress. They looked at me like I was a monster. "She's the only one who could have done it," the inspector said flatly. My fingerprints were on the weapon. I had no alibi. My perfect day had turned into a nightmare. And now, I was the prime suspect in my husband's murder. But I swear I didn't kill Emeka. So who did? They took me to the station, still wearing my veil. Inside a dim interrogation room, Inspector Bako leaned forward. "Tell us what happened, Amaka." I repeated my story. Again. He tapped a file. "Your fingerprints. The motive. The opportunity." Emeka's family said he was calling off the wedding days before, but you insisted. "That's a lie!" I cried. His eyes narrowed. "Then who did this?" I had no answer. Just as they were about to charge me, a junior officer interrupted. "Sir, CCTV shows someone entering the back of the hotel through the service kitchen at 3:11 am. That was the break I needed. They delayed the charges. But I was still under suspicion and now out on bail. I returned home to my flat in Surulere. It was ransacked. My laptop, photos of Emeka, our wedding certificate all gone. Someone wanted to erase our story, and I had to find out who. I traveled to Emeka's family compound in Enugu. His mother, Mama Nkechi, wept when she saw me, but she wouldn't let me in. "You killed my only son," she screamed. Why else would he change the beneficiary of his will days before the wedding? That was new. The will? I went to Emeka's lawyer, Barrister Uduak. He confirmed Emeka had added someone named Chiamaka as a 50% beneficiary. "But I'm Amaka," I told him. He frowned. "Not you, Chiamaka Obi." I froze. That was Emeka's ex, the one he said had left him for a senator. I dug deeper. Emeka had been meeting her secretly in Enugu. And just like that, betrayal pierced deeper than grief. I tracked down Chiamaka in a gated estate in Lekki. She was still stunning, still manipulative. "I was supposed to marry him," she said calmly. "But you came along." I warned him never to play with my heart. "Did you kill him?" I asked. She laughed. "No, but maybe someone did it for me." As I turned to leave, her housemaid whispered, "Madam was in Lagos that night." That was all I needed. I returned to the hotel and found an old janitor. He remembered seeing a woman in red stilettos sneaking in through the staff door that night. Amaka wore red stilettos in every Instagram post. Still, there was no footage, no solid evidence. I needed more, and I was running out of time. The court date was near. A week later, I received a cryptic text from a blocked number. "Look into Emeka's father's death. History repeats itself." I was stunned. Emeka told me his father died in an accident, but a local priest in Enugu told a different story. His father was poisoned. The case was buried by money and fear. The killer was never found, but the pattern, the betrayal, it runs in that family. I asked, could Emeka have been involved in something dark? He nodded. When secrets are hidden, ghosts return to collect debts. What if this wasn't just about romance or betrayal? What if it was revenge, generational? Back in Lagos, I searched Emeka's encrypted USB drive I had once hidden. It held photos, secret meetings with politicians, evidence of land fraud, and one final note. If anything happens to me, check the footage hidden at Kingsley's shop. Kingsley was his best friend and groomsman. I went to the electronics shop in Acacia. Kingsley looked nervous. He handed me a flash drive. "Take it, but disappear. They're watching me too." Inside was CCTV footage of Emeka fighting with someone, not Chiamaka, but his elder brother, Nonso. The footage showed Nonso entering the hotel through the service door at 3:11 am, the same time the officer mentioned. Nonso, who stood by my side at the wedding, had killed him. I returned to Enugu and confronted Mama Nkechi. She collapsed in shock when I showed her the footage. "I knew they hated each other," she whispered. "But I thought it was jealousy, not murder." Nonso had always lived in his younger brother's shadow. Emeka inherited everything. The land, the businesses, the love. So he ended it. He killed him and let me take the fall. I handed the evidence to the police. Nonso was arrested, but I wasn't free yet. My reputation was ruined. My heart shattered. And justice came at too high a price. I returned to my village in Suka. I volunteered at the local women's center. I told my story not of marriage but of betrayal, survival, and truth. Women listened. Some wept. Others finally spoke up. And slowly, I began to heal. Emeka's spirit visited me in dreams. No words, just peace. Maybe he forgave me. Or maybe he wanted me to forgive myself. I was no longer a suspect. But I was no longer the same woman either. Months passed. One evening, after a community workshop, a quiet man approached me. "I'm Dr. Jide. I run the health clinic nearby. Heard your story." He didn't ask me questions. He didn't flinch at my past. He just listened. We began having tea, then dinners, then late-night walks. He reminded me that life could bloom again after fire, and though I wasn't ready for marriage, I was ready to feel human again. Sometimes, that's enough. This isn't just a story about a wedding gone wrong. It's about how betrayal cuts deepest when it wears love's mask, how justice is sometimes slow, but not blind, and how a woman's strength isn't in how she endures, but in how she rises. I faked nothing, but I found everything. Even when the world blamed me, I uncovered the truth. In a country where many stories are buried, mine lived, and may it help others find their voice too. Grumpy Folktales Africa is a collection of long, short stories that reimagine traditional African folktales with a focus on grumpy characters and their eventual transformations. The series aims to entertain, while imparting moral lessons through humor and relatable situations. Like stories with meaning? Subscribe to Grumpy Folktales Africa. Like, comment, and share now.